Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides. My guides are the universal energies. Right, we are looking at something completely different in this particular reading. What am I looking at? I am going to do a reading on a person, let me put it this way, called Otzi Man, also known as the Iceman, as the Himalayan Man, or the Tyrolean Iceman. Okay, the Otzi Man, because he was discovered on the Ötztal Alps on the Austrian-Italy border back in 1991. Why am I having a look at this? I don't know. It crossed my feed and my guides were like, oh my goodness, you need to have a read. So who is this Otzi Man? Well, when he was discovered in 1991 by some German tourists, it was believed that he was a recently deceased mountaineer because the preservation was so good. It turned out now the body was still partially enclosed in frozen ice, and the method of extraction was very undesirable from an archaeological point of view because they still believed that it was a recently deceased mountaineer. It turns out that it was actually, when they finally extracted him and had a good look, and 5 days later they went, holy crumbs, we need to actually be a bit more careful with this mummified body. It was the remains of a person who was born around 3275 BCE, before current era, which makes him around nearly 5,000 years old or thereabouts. Okay. Why do I want to have a look at it? I don't know. I want to have a look at his life. I want to have a look at who this person was. I just want to have a little bit of an explore. I'm going wildly where my guides take me for something a little bit different. Okay, it was estimated at the time of his passing, he was about 5'3" in height, weighed about 50 kilos, and was approximately 45 years of age. It has been assumed that he was a copper smelting worker due to the amount of what was found in his due to the amount of arsenic and copper found in his system internally. I mean, he was pretty much perfectly preserved. His clothing, made from skins from all sorts of different animals, from bear through to sheep, were preserved. His last 2 meals were preserved in his stomach. His skin, the epidural, the really outside skin, you know what I'm talking about. The very, very outside layer of skin was gone due to the ice preservation, but they could still see all his total tattoos, 61 tattoos in total, and they can they had tooth enamel to see where he actually grew up and where he traveled. It just absolutely fascinating. So about 5,000 years old. Okay, radiological examination of the bones showed age-conditioned and strain-induced degradation corresponding to many of the tattooed areas. So there was a belief that the tattoos were of a medical, a healing belief. I don't think that tattooing a particular part does heal medically, but it was a belief. And he also had degeneration of the knees and the lumbar spine and the ankle joints. Okay, the tattoos may have been part of a pain relief treatment similar to acupressure or acupuncture. So, okay, I stand corrected. And he lived at a period 2,000 years before the earliest known use of acupressure or acupuncture. Apparently, he had intestinal worms. Well, one would assume that that would be probably fairly common at that stage. And where do we go from here? I don't know. Where do you guys want me to go? He, during CT scans of the mummified body, there were some cracked ribs. He was laying face down. The cracked ribs may have been where the ice crushed. They're not too sure. Analysis of fingernails. Yes, there were fingernails. Indicated that he had been sick 3 times in 6 months in the previous 6 months, due to ridging on his nails. Epidermis, there you go, the outer skin layer. I knew it. Was missing. Now, his teeth showed a deterioration from cavities brought around by a high carbohydrate diet, although there was meat that was found in his stomach, ibex, and another form of meat. It's on the Wikipedia page. It was shown he was dairy lactose intolerant, okay, which is to be expected, and you'll find that regions still currently in the world that have a history of non-dairy consumption still carry a strong prevalence towards lactose intolerance. Okay, so I don't know. I want to have a look at his at his life. So he was found with a longbow. He was found with what other equipment was he found with? He was found with quite extensive equipment. They also found a particular type of fungus that is used for lighting fires, along with fire lighting equipment. So he was quite well advanced 5,000 years ago. So a copper axe with a U handle, a chert-bladed knife, which is like a flint-bladed knife, a quiver with 14 arrows, and a with flint tips and leaf fletching, plus a longbow. Okay, what else was he found with? Unidentified antler tool. That'll be interesting to see what that's for. He had a basket, two baskets, 2 birch baskets with dried berries and meat in them, etc., plus a flint and pyrite for fire lighting, along with that fire lighting mushroom. Okay, so let's have a look. Now, it appears he had been in a fight of some sort. He did have injuries on him when he passed, some wounding injuries. So I don't know. Let's see what we want to go. Otzi Man, show me the life. Now I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot, and then I'm going to use Around the World Oracle deck, because that's what my guides led me to. Show me Otzi Man. Tell me about his life. He was obviously traveling. He had on his feet what appeared to be snowshoes made from, now I've moved away from the Wikipedia page, so I'm going from memory here, bearskin soles that were quite broad with sheepskin uppers, I think. Might have been something else. And he had woven socks. So it was like socks made out of, I say, like a soft fiber, plant fiber. So almost like, if I say a hemp or a cotton, I don't mean hemp or cotton, but he had socks on made out of a soft fiber. Okay, tell me something about Otzi Man. See where it goes. Something a bit different, something a bit exploratory. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles. He was okay, thank you. is the signifier. He was very much a man of the community, a community-minded man, but something came to an end here. He was important in the community. Okay, thank you. I'm getting his partner passed or something. He wasn't banished. He decided to go on a walkabout, is what I'm getting. So this is very much about, tens are about an ending of a cycle. And this Ten of Pentacles shows the children in the background. His children were growing. His partner had passed. That's what my guides are giving me. And he was going on okay, thank you. They've called it a quest of discovery. I would have called it a mob. We call our Australian First Nations, the tribes, they call themselves the mob. I would have said First Nations term of walkabout. Okay. So he needed to leave the community, but he left it voluntarily is what I'm getting. He left the community voluntarily to go walkabout. Okay. The second signifier is the Two of Pentacles. This is about a discovery, spiritual versus materialistic. So he was going on a spiritual discovery journey is what I'm getting there. He had his materialistic goods with him, but he was going on a journey of the otherworldly. Okay, this is interesting. So it wasn't a trading mission or anything like that. I'm getting that it was like to clear his mind type thing. Okay, let's see where we go. The energy behind it, King of Cups, the negotiator, the diplomat, the emotionally mature male taking some sort of action here, the King of Cups, and we've got the sailing ship in the background. Again, going on a journey of exploration, a journey of discovery, a journey of emotional discovery here. The ship is sailing away. So yeah, a journey of emotional discovery is what I'm getting. He was emotionally mature. He was considered an elder in the tribe, the group. But he was taking action to rediscover himself, I think. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups, the other signifier behind the scenes. The other energy behind the scenes, the Three of Cups. Following the stars. Looks like the Southern Cross to me, or it might be the panhandle. The Three of Cups. Gone with the blessing. It's not three of them together. I'm getting that. Okay, thank you. I think I'm getting he had 3 daughters. You've got 3 girls and a little boy in here, and then the wife. But I'm getting the 3 daughters. He went with the blessing of the 3 daughters, and they watched the stars waiting for him to return. Okay. The energy coming out of this King of Cups, the Five of Wands. Yeah, he met conflict. He ran into some people who were not friendly, and there was this fight that happened. They weren't after his possessions. it's almost like, okay, thank you. I'm being shown like a rogue band of cast out young men, if that makes sense, like a gang type thing is how we would call it nowadays. But cast out young men. Okay. They weren't after his possessions. They just attacked him for the sake of attacking him. Okay. Because he was better than them and he reminded them of the elders that cast them from the tribe. And they were cast from the tribe because they were aggressive. There weren't many of them. I mean, I know there's 5 here. But it's like, it was almost like trying to show their superiority by um, having a kill. Oh, ick. Ick. Right, the energy coming out of this 3 of Cups. Yeah, the despair, the 9 of Swords. The realization that he was not returning. I don't know how they knew. There might have been one that had a spiritual visitor that told them the news, but watching for his return and the despair of him not returning. It's almost like he was supposed to be back by the end of fall, or a certain time where the in the sky, but he didn't return by that time, and there was this despair. Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to be gone long. It's almost like he was supposed to go for a moon cycle or something, which would have been 28 days, or 2 moons, 2 moon cycles, but never returned. Or when the stars were going to be at a certain point in the sky, it wasn't supposed to be long. But when he didn't return and continued to not return, especially by the depths of winter, they knew he wasn't coming back. Okay, what else do we need to know? The karma hanging over him was the wheel. It was his time. It was his time for to end and step through the portal into the new beginning. I often talk about this life path that we are on. We are given off ramps until there is one final one that we cannot deny. So, there are options to pass. And he took one of these options and stepped through the portal. Or should I say, his spirit took one of the options. And the Lovers, where he rejoined with his partner. The power of rejoining, he may not have consciously, intellectually been aware of this, but the power of rejoining his life partner was so strong that he chose to step through this portal. His injuries, they were severe, but they weren't really necessarily life-threatening. They were pretty, an arrow through the shoulder and all the rest of it. But it's almost like he then accepted to pass over, to be reunited. Okay. The outcome is 7 of Wands. The acceptance of this attack. The Moon card, emotionally feeling of drowning. May have had a punctured lung. There's that full moon. the feeling of drowning perhaps, and then death and rebirth. Oh, I'm almost not game to see what the next card is. And the Fool. Setting out on the new journey. These are amazing cards. These are beautiful cards. You saw me shuffle. I couldn't have picked these better if I tried. This is about an acceptance of whatever this attack was, feeling of drowning, which I don't know consciously what the feeling of dying is. This may have simply been the feeling of dying, of falling into the abyss, the death, and the new journey. Oh my goodness. The portal, the reuniting, the emotional maturity and acceptance, the going walkabout to discover himself. Oh my goodness. The energy underneath it, and I think this is his partner, the intellectual female, the Ace of Swords, and the Justice card. I think his partner was highly intelligent and very just, and she was a significant leader in her own right. Wow. Oh, I love that story for him. I love that story for him. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards from the Around the World Oracle cards. Let's see if we can glean a little bit more information. Otzi Man. Is there anything else? I'll bring you down so you can see me shuffling. Is there anything else we need to know about who was he in life? Tell me about who he was in life. Who was he in life? Otzi Man. He was obviously highly respected, highly immature. I mean, the alchemy of copper working just within itself is really significant. Tell me about Otzi Man in real life. Just a couple of cards to gratitude. Gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty. It's a Doris Day saying, but gratitude. He was an immensely grateful person for his life. This one's sticking out, so I'll grab it. Longevity and knowledge. Now, if he was in his late 40s, he was old for his time. Very old, very wise. The wise oak. The endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures the final victory comes. He had lived a long life. He was very wise. He was incredibly grateful for the life that he had. Now I'm getting the 4 children. I don't know what happened to the son. The son may have left the tribe. He wasn't one of the ones that attacked. He may have gone elsewhere to start his own family, and the 3 daughters remained. And I'm pretty sure they probably would have ended up with partners themselves. Okay. And the manifestation. Manifested his ending. He was grateful for his life. He was very knowledgeable and lived a long time. Okay, thank you. He manifested a lot of what he achieved because he believed he could. Okay. He believed he could, so he did. Wow. Yes. Love that. Yep. Absolutely he did. He manifested what he achieved because he sat in gratitude and he was wise and he knew he had lived a long life. Absolutely, yes. And he is now, we've got divinity. The direction of life is from duality to unity, divinity. Oh, duality. I do apologize. I was reading that as divinity, duality. I still feel divinity there. Very centered, knew who he was, knew knew his worth. I think his worth, though, was quite intricately tied with his partner, which is why we got that stepping through the portal to be reunited. Optimism and positivity. Choose to be optimistic. It feels better. I like that. I've met the Dalai Lama as well. Will stay with me forever, that moment. So yeah, optimism and positivity. We've got on the base, bottom, community. You can do what I cannot do. I can do what you cannot do. Together we can do great things. He was very entwined in his community. His life partner was incredibly central for it. They were almost like one person. She was incredibly intellectual. I think he was more practical with his hands, and she was incredibly intellectual. He was knowledgeable, but in a different way than she was. So therefore, they made this amazing partnership. And when she passed, he lost a significant part of this connection. So therefore he was ready. He went on a journey of self-discovery. I won't say he manifested his passing, but he was not fighting it. And I noticed the dragonflies. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. That was actually quite beautiful. Love that my guides took me there for something a little bit different. A few of you are contacting me to say that you are opening up to your spirituality and you are sharing with me what you are discovering, which is amazing. The names of your guides or just the tools that work for you, which are not necessarily the tools that work for me. It's about finding your own path, and if anybody tries to tell you how you are to connect with your guides, means don't listen to them. They're not right. It's completely up to you, completely personal. That was amazing. Otzi Man. We have a lot to learn from him. Love to you all. Take care.